is you ladies still want men. Hello,
Hi. Hi, Dr. Kevin.
what's going on?
Nothing much. We just been watching you, and I was telling my sister maybe we should get on and like ask a question that we both either wanted to ask. So
What's
do
the
you want me to
question?
go first, or
Yeah, you go first, sis. You go first.
Okay. Just a little background. So I'm 8 years older than my sister. She attends Notre Dame College. I graduated in 2016 from Cleveland State. No, I'm not married or anything like that, but I try to tell her a lot of times that I have a child, she's 3, and I try to tell her that, you should be married before, but it's hard to, like, I try to tell her, even if you do get married, you still could go through divorce and things like that, but it's still good to plan.
What's the question?
The question is, should she be looking for men, like, to talk to men at this time, or should she just focus on school and getting her degree?
How old are you?
Me?
Whoever you talk about, is it her?
How old are you?
I'm 21.
21. And you go to Notre Dame? What's your classification? Junior?
Yeah, I'm a junior.
Okay. I want you to start noticing all the non-black women you went to school with. How many of them are starting to get boyfriends and fiancés by the time you leave?
They have boyfriends, but at the same time, like...
No. I said in fiancés.
Boyfriends, because I don't see any fiancés. Like, we're
exactly.
Well, you're just now there. But going through your freshman and sophomore year, every woman goes through their little hoe phase or whatever. But by the time you get to the junior and senior year, this is when black women tend to be breaking up with their boyfriends, and Becky's are getting boyfriends. So you don't want to be attached after graduation. So you get out here and get your little 1-bedroom apartment with your IKEA fucking furniture and run out here. IKEA is not bad. I had IKEA
Don't
furniture.
say IKEA though, because we don't go to IKEA. We go somewhere else.
It doesn't matter. It's an overall point. It means you ain't gonna have a lot of money when you're a new graduate. At what point do you think you should start? Okay. At what point?
I don't know, because I've been watching you recently, and I've been saying when you were saying like 22 to like 25 was like we should be getting married or like engaged at least. That was scary to me because I felt like at 30 I should be getting that age. I didn't think that young. But I mean,
tell me what your grandma and your great grandma got married at. How old were they?
Well, our grandmother, she was like 19. That's true.
Exactly.
Our mom.
Exactly. 30. You first off, trying to get married at 30, you're smooth in the danger zone. Listen, because what you think is what I talk about every night, and you're wasting your prime years for what? What are you going to gain between the age? Listen, before you answer, what are you going to gain that's so important between the age of 23 and 29?
Can I speak?
I want to talk to her.
Okay.
Because you already have the kid. I want to hear from her.
Okay, would you ask? I'm sorry, say it one more time.
What do you, after you graduate, let's say you're single from 22 to 29, what's so important that you're going to gain out on the dating scene?
Just experience, just to know what I want and what I don't want.
Yes, and wisdom.
No, you're not going to get any experience. You're going to just get more sex and more bodies. Possibly a baby. I'm being dead honest with you.
Is that what that
Possibly
is?
I mean, you then, like you said, like sleeping with, how men get upset, like, at the college dorm and stuff, and you be like, oh, he was mad, and you just be like turning them down and stuff. I feel like that's a good thing. You don't always have to sleep with somebody. Think about it. I was 26 when I had Briley. That was a long, That was a long time.
So you
the median age where people get married in this country is 27.8. That's women. And they don't get married. They don't get married the day they met. They met somebody at 25 or 26, got married at 27. The problem is 1 in 4 black women will get married, and it's because you guys delay getting married for this bullshit experience. You basically want to spend your 20s partying, turning up, riding the cock carousel, going down the DR, and then be an alpha widow, and then think you're going to find some sucker is going to be $100,000+ earner and go pay all the bills. And no, I'm sorry, ma'am. Our forebears did it right. They got married because the more relationships you get on you, the more damage and trauma you get.
I agree.
And you bring all that to another person. And that's why I asked you, what are you gaining? And you said, well, just experience. It don't sound like if better to have 5 years experience in a marriage than 5 years of bad, broken relationships.
I agree with that. But you also can't get married just to get married. You gotta be married for different reasons. Like you gotta marry.
Where's your father at?
My father's around.
Exactly. You didn't see.
I ain't gonna lie to you. He's slightly around. Like he's not around. Like my father was in.
But the point is, like most black folks, we did not see healthy relationships modeled. We saw women having to make ends meet.
We agree. I agree with that. No, because a lot of black women around us, that they have that type of situation.
So let me ask you. Let's say you just think I'm full of shit. That's what I'm talking about. You get out here and you're making average money like most people do, and you turn around and you're 30 years old, and then you look and you see some of the women you went to college with, and they've been married 3 years on their second baby, driving their BMW, planning their trip to Aruba with their family, and every morning you got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to fight traffic, to commute, to drive to work, to pay the lights, because you ain't gonna ever be rich. You got to wash, rinse, and repeat, and you go from 30 to 31, 31 to 32, on and on and on. And you look up and you're 40 years old, and all you got is bills, experience, and nothing to show for it. Why are you in college in the first place? Do you want a career, or do you want a life?
I want a life. I also want
a life is with people. As simple as that. So many young ladies think because you didn't see a father in the household that men are just there for sex and finance. And men serve such a more important role. And by the time you young ladies figure it out, it's too late.
True.
You've either, no offense, ma'am, you've either aged out, or you may have already had some things happen in life to where the kind of men you want are like, then you got a lower caliber man to pick from, and then it's stuck. Our grandparents and great-parents, they built a community, they built churches, universities, thriving businesses, everything else. All we got is a bunch of jobs and babies.
Do you think that some people are meant to be alone? Just a question.
Not women. Women are meant to be alone. You can't survive in the world without men. I mean, physically. Okay, all right. You don't believe me? If I dropped you in
it's just like I got a different opinion about that because I know.
No. Listen, what I'm about to say. If I dropped you into the middle of the wilderness, you don't, as a female, you don't have the hand strength, the upper body strength to even create a fundamental shelter that will survive through a year. Women need a group to survive. You can't manipulate the environment. My hand strength is 17 times more than yours. So how would you survive? By yourself?
I'm laughing at the comments. I'm not laughing at him. I'm like,
don't worry about the comments.
But let me stop at the comments.
And he's actually trying to help us.
He is trying to help us. He's telling us the truth.
Teaching us the right way.
But the thing is, I mean, see, men have civilized the world in general so much to where you don't even realize how much you need us. You say you don't need a man right now, but if somebody came up to that car right now with a jack or something that could bust the window, what you gonna do to stop them?
Nothing.
No, but see, that's kind of different because we didn't we have, even with self-defense class, I understand what you're saying about the strength and things like that, but also too, I feel like right now in the day and age that there are women out here who literally are taking care of themselves and they are doing good.
They're taking care of themselves in a world that men built. They're not taking care of themselves. They're surviving on what we built. Name me a city, a town, a civilization that women built it from the ground up and they're surviving and running it.
Right, but just because it's built off of
No, ma'am. No. See, but that you can't just move on. It's one thing to say I'm taking care of this house, and I'm taking care of it well, but that's not like building the house.
But I don't think you should go and search or go and try to find someone. You know, when the time comes, that's fine. But as far as
no. When the time comes, then this is where we're gonna get into the conflict, because I'm gonna just go ahead and say black women have far more. You guys think being a wife is bigger than being a baby mama. It is easy for a black woman to say, I'll have a baby, but I ain't gonna marry a guy. And that's backwards. You should be married before you have a baby.
I don't agree with that. I agree with that. I feel like I'd rather be a wife.
Than have before having a baby. You know what I mean?
I'd rather be.
So when you say when time should just come along, we do things out of order, and the reason is honestly because black women, more than any other group of women, really truly feel like y'all are strong, independent, don't need no man. And let me tell you something, coronavirus showed you different. Because I'm down here in Atlanta, I saw something in 51 years that I had never seen in black women's eyes. Fear. Because the single black women out here who are making money and this and that, when they ran out of food, water, toilet paper, whatever, they had to get out and go get it themselves. When Becky, Marisol, and Marlene were sending their husbands out.
I think that's a good thing, because with this coronavirus going on and everything happening, if something happens to your husband or anything, you should know some of the standard grounds to be able to take care of yourself. Some women don't know how to do that. So I absolutely agree with that.
Don't look in the comment section. They're not there. Talk to me, because I've talked about this so many. Sisters have bought so far into the lie of feminism that was sold. I talked about it last Monday on how Cosmopolitan magazine and the women's movement sold a lie to women to get you to buy products. And when I said that women can't survive without me, and y'all were like, I don't believe that. But you're smart enough to know that the females of any group cannot survive without the males. You're not strong enough.
I agree with that.
But she doesn't believe. Your sister doesn't believe it. She thinks
I'm not gonna lie. I don't believe it, because I don't feel like
we're gonna stop there, because I got into a car accident recently and my back bumper was hanging off, and when it came off, I did not know what I was going to do, and those men helped me with my car. There was no way I would have been able to get that bumper back on. Those men helped me with that car, and I had my daughter and everything. They were nice enough, black men at that.
If we're going to say, can we live in a world without a man? No. Can a man live in a world without women? No.
And that is why God.
Hold on. Oh, but see that's why you make the false equivalence, as if those two things are equal. No, y'all need us. That's why there are more females on the planet than men. Yeah. You're here for us. We're not here for you. The only reason you guys exist on the planet is for us. You are here to pass on our DNA to the next generation.
That is true, to create the population, because he did give us his rib. But also, too, I don't feel like...
But even if you don't believe in Christianity, you can go into the animal kingdom. The lionesses of the pride do all the hunting, they carry all the children, but there's stuff that they cannot take care of. They can't bring down that water buffalo. They can't run those hyenas off. They can't keep... They can maintain it, but the male lion protects it. And without the protection, there's no need for maintenance, because you're always running.
I feel like
imagine right now, your sister, imagine right now you're in the driver's seat and you got warrants, and every cop in the city knew you had warrants. Every time you got in the car to drive, you'd be panicking because they'd all be looking for you. And nothing could protect you because you're always being hunted. Females are always going to be hunted unless they have protection from men. Our society is built to protect you guys, so much so that you have the luxury of thinking about, well, I'll just wait till I'm 30 or later on, and not realizing that men don't want women that old.
So you saying after 30, like, men won't want to like try to be married or want to be...
The chances of getting married drop drastically. It's why it's called the wall. Again, you're a college student. Let me ask you something, college student. Name me a product on the market that gains value with time and use. Nothing. And that's you're at 22. You are more valuable to men today than when you're 27. You're more valuable at 27 than you will be at 32. Because it's about your fertility, your womb, your ability. So this is, and the funny thing, and I'm gonna wrap it up, is every other group of women in this country realizes that they need their men. You don't hear any other group of women saying, I don't need a man. Even diehard white feminists don't say we don't need men. They say we don't like the patriarchy, but they admit they need their men. You guys truly believe you don't need us.
I agree. I feel like that's kind of been implemented. No, I feel like that dates back to slavery as far as...
That goes back to slavery.
I feel like as far as...
No, it doesn't.
I feel like that. Because
Friday 19... Okay, listen, let me... Hold on, listen. Prior to... Listen, no, pay attention. This is historical. Prior to 1965, Black people were married at a rate of 80%. That's at the height of the Civil Rights Movement, Jim Crow, segregation, lynchings, all these things. We were married. 8 out of 10 of us were married during the height of all of this stuff. This is not about slavery, white supremacy, racism. This is about the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement went right along with the women's movement, and Black women were sold a lie. Side with us. Stand up for women's rights, and you took your eye off of your man and you went for self. And white women use that.
When we started getting our rights, like as far as voting and stuff like that, we got an independent.
No, it was when you start siding with white liberal females and because white liberal females are having a problem with white men. The Black women they never had. Black men ain't never oppressed y'all. Black men ain't never had that kind of power over y'all. We've always had much more of a cooperative society. We came out of slavery into Jim Crow and black laws. We had to stay together. So,
do you feel like sometimes as a woman that you need to bring yourself a little bit down so that you could, like, I don't even know how to ask this question, like, because you get what I'm saying, like, pros and cons for like a man. I feel like if the cons outweigh the pros, that you should not step into that. I just feel like that. Like,
I don't know what you mean. I don't understand what you mean.
More bad than good. Like if he has more, like it doesn't matter if he's. You feel me?
Like if his credentials are there, but his attitude, like it's always something with a person.
Thing. Like
that's bullshit. No, see, and this is bullshit because you're 22, and you see. And here's another thing: this stuff runs rampant in colleges because colleges are a liberal laboratory of liberal thought and ideals, and Black women fall into feminism so easily on college campus because there are no men around, and the men that are around tend to be these soft beta males. 51% of all Black men are single and childless. That means the majority. And see, look at her. I look at her. This is the fact.
I don't know any who are.
That is not my French toast problem.
You're being honest, though. You should be honest.
This is not. I'm sorry. Then you need to hang out with a better caliber of man because 51%. Then you hang out with the wrong dudes, and that's your problem.
And I agree with you on that.
That's what I'm saying.
So you cannot judge Black men by your trash choices. 51% are single and childless, and 64% are in the middle class. But yet, far too many sisters come into places like this with your attitude and throw out all this stuff about Black men, and no one challenges it. And you're allowed to just lie on us. Stop lying on us.
What kind of attitude? What lie?
The point is when I said 51% of Black men are single and childless, other than saying, oh, I didn't know that. It was like, that can't be true.
Well, you should look it up and have acknowledgement of that. If I
you know what? Hold on, she seems to be the issue. Come back over here. What's the problem?
She seems to be the issue. It's not an issue. It's not an issue at all.
It is an issue.
Like my generation, like the younger generation, the 21s and the 18s and the 19s and the 20s, like
they have less children. They have less children. The millennial generation has less kids. See, guys, what? And these statistics are from blackdemographics.com. Black statistics by black people for black people. And listen to how our women are talking. Like, black men can't be that good. Why do we need racism, white supremacy, and anything else when our own women think this of us? We don't need somebody to come in our community to try to burn down the Greenwood part of Tulsa. We don't need Rosewood to happen. We don't need none of that shit to happen. When your own women think trash of you, and these women are in colleges, they go out into the work world, and what happens? When they're sitting around talking to other people that are not black, they're talking about what they think about black men. Everybody was saying, well, I don't know any black guys, but if Kim says this, it must be true. They must all be bad.